guys, it's Bethany. I wanted to talk to you guys about my recent Walt Disney World trip. I know that I didn't make a video kind of explaining like our itinerary and what all we did and what we experienced and my first times doing things. So I really wanted to make a specific video just for that. So let's get on into it. Where to start? Let's talk about my first times doing things there. So this trip was my first time ever riding Space Mountain, Soarin', Everest, Star Wars, Pandora. Yes, all of those rides. I know you're probably thinking, what did you even ride before you went? I know, right? Most of those rides were roller coaster rides, and my husband is not a big roller coaster fan. Well, now he kind of is, but at the time we first went, he was still kind of iffy about roller coasters, and now that we've gotten him on them, he's all right with them, and he tends to like them now. But at the time, in 2018, he didn't like them. But we rode all those rides for the very first time. So my favorite part about this trip, oh, my nose. My favorite part about this trip was Star Wars Land. Can I just tell you how amazing that land is? It is so cool. Like, so cool. It literally feels like, you walk around like this little tunnel into around the corner or whatever, and it's like you walk into just like another galaxy. It's like, what just happened? And there's like spaceships, there's the Millennium Falcon, there's like the First Order like little satellite little ship things. I don't know what they're called, but they're little pilot flight shooter things. They have like these cool restaurants and anything that you can think of. Literally, it was so cool how they themed it. They did such a great job. So our itinerary, we drove this trip around. So it was about a 9-hour drive. So we drove halfway the first night, stayed the night at our friend's grandparents' house, and got up the next morning, drove the rest of the way. And when we got there, we went to Disney Springs. I bought my first ever Alex and Ani bracelet that night. It was really cool. Walking around Disney Springs. We'd never got to do that before because the last time we went to Disney Springs, we got engaged and it was really late. Everything was kind of closed or closing, and so this time we got to actually really explore it. We ate at the Paddlefish restaurant. If you don't know what that is, it's the really big boat restaurant at Disney Springs. Like, you can't miss it. It's just this huge, like, almost like a ship, like, I guess you'd call it. And it's just huge, and it's sitting in the middle of the water, and you go onto the boat, and it's the restaurant. It's really cool. It was a great experience for us. So our first official day at the parks was Animal Kingdom, and this was actually the first time that we ever really, like, explored Animal Kingdom. So the first time we went in 2018, it was so hot. It was in June, and I promise, it feels like Animal Kingdom is always 10 degrees hotter than every other park, and I don't know why. But for some reason that year we went in June, and the day we went to Animal Kingdom, it was so hot, and we just couldn't stand it. We rode the train there, and literally we're like, let's get back on the train and go back up, and we went back. We went to Pandora, and that was it, our first trip. We didn't really explore anything. But this trip we did, and I'm so thankful that we did. We went in November this trip, so it was a lot cooler. It was still like 60, 70 degrees outside, which is like our cool. But it was still pretty cool outside. It wasn't bad at all. This day I rode Dinosaur for the first time. I learned I don't like the ride Dinosaur. I don't know what it is about it, if it's all the moving and the darkness and like like you're hardly like jerking through stuff. I don't know. But I don't know. I just did not like it at all. I love the Pandora ride. Oh my gosh, the Pandora Flight of Passage was so beautiful. It feels surreal. I don't like that you have to wear the glasses, like 3D glasses, because those kind of give me a headache. But I mean, the ride surpasses my expectation whatsoever. It was so great. We actually rope dropped that day so we could ride Pandora because we didn't have a fast pass for it, and we didn't wait very long at all to get on. We rode Navi River Journey, which we'd already ridden before on our first trip. It was beautiful. It's very nice, very relaxing, very cool if it's hot outside. We rode Everest for the first time, which was amazing. It's my new favorite ride at Animal Kingdom. I know people are going to be like, well, what about Pandora? Pandora, you said it was amazing. Yes, I love Pandora, but I loved Everest. It was such a thrill, and I love roller coaster. I love actual rides. And I know that that's an actual ride, but it's more of a simulator in my opinion, where Everest is like an actual roller coaster. So it was lots of fun. And that night we ate at, if I can remember, the Flying Fish. And the Flying Fish is the restaurant that we ate at the night that we got engaged in 2018. So it had a very special place in our heart. It was really good. We got to walk around on the boardwalk and watch the guy who like does the tricks on the boardwalk. I don't know what they call them, but it's on my intro. When you see my intro, it's like a guy like throwing stuff in the air. That's, sorry, that's him. Our second day at the park, we went to Epcot. This day was a little bit hotter. I remember being like, okay, let's go get in the air conditioning. I'm getting pretty warm. We rode Soarin' like so many times. That was my first time riding Soarin'. We rode it maybe 2 or 3 times. I can't remember. Or maybe it was 3 or 4. I don't know. We also rode Spaceship Earth, which I'd ridden before, and it was really hot on that ride, which, you know, it goes really slow, but for some reason, it just like, I got really claustrophobic because it was really dark and the ride kept stopping and I kept having to like fan myself, and I was like, why is it so hot today? It was like almost in the 80s. I think it was like 82, 83 or something like that. And it was just not a good time to ride that ride, although I do love that ride. We also rode Living with the Land for the first time. It was very cool. It was very like informative and taught you about like how Epcot gets their food and Disney gets their food. It's like their own like garden. I don't know. It was really cool. It's like you're in this little water boat ride and you ride through, and like as you're riding you're looking at plants, and as you pass by certain things, this little voice that speaks into the speakers tells you about like why they plant this and what it helps and what they use it for in the parks. It's really cool. Alright, so our third park day was our first day at Magic Kingdom. Oh my gosh, I love this park so much. It was Christmas time, so they had the big Christmas tree up, and it was so beautiful. It was really cool outside. It's our first time experiencing Magic Kingdom where it's actually not scorching hot. It was so cool. We rode Splash Mountain. Well, first of all, we did ride Splash Mountain that day. Our first fast pass was at 9 o'clock for Splash Mountain. And it was closed like for the first over half of the day. And if you know my husband, he adores Splash Mountain. It's his favorite attraction in all of Disney World. And when we arrived to the park and saw on our phone an alert that said that Splash Mountain was temporarily closed and that we could choose a different attraction, my husband, y'all, his heart dropped. It was so sad to watch him. He was just like, this is what I came for. Like, I hate that. Like, what if I don't get to ride my ride? What if it's closed for the rest of the week? Like, he was literally so nervous that it wasn't going to be opening back up. And they had a few people assure him, like the different cast members that we talked to, be like, hey, it's been doing this for a little while now. You know, it's been closing down in the mornings. It's just been taking a little while to go back up. I wouldn't worry about it. And that made him feel a whole lot better. And they even told him you could save that fast pass and just use it for Splash Mountain later. You don't have to use that fast pass. And so he was like, oh, okay, cool, yeah. So he eventually perked up. But there for a little while, it was so sad to watch him. Just like his heart broke. And I'm just glad we eventually got to ride it. So we also rode Peter Pan's Flight that day. Our first time riding that. Do not recommend if you're an adult and you never rode it as a child and it doesn't really, like, you're not like a huge Peter Pan fan, I don't recommend standing in line for that. We did get a fast pass for it, but even the fast pass line was so long. We waited like 30 minutes in the fast pass line. And the ride is like 30 seconds, literally like 30 seconds. You climb in and the little bar goes down and you literally go around like the storybook for like 30 seconds and then you're off. So I'm glad that I did it and I got it over with and I can say that I've done it, but I probably wouldn't use a fast pass on it again. I mean, if you want to ride it, you need to use a fast pass on it, because if not, you're going to be waiting in line for over an hour. Also, we rode Thunder Mountain. This is my first time riding Big Thunder Mountain, which is crazy to me. Like, I thought we rode it our first time in 2018, but we didn't. We remembered it was like a coaster, and Aaron was kind of like, "Meh," about it. And he was like, I don't know if I'm going to like it. Am I going to like it? Is it like a fast coaster? And I was like, from what I've seen, it's not really fast. So we did ride that, and we loved it. It was so much fun. We had our hands up the whole time, and we rode that, I think, another 2 more times. It was lots of fun. So we ate at Liberty Tree Tavern that day. No, we ate at Pecos Bill, the Mexican food place. And I got like this chicken and rice and bean bowl. It was really nice. I liked it. I love Mexican food. My husband, on the other hand, does not really like Hispanic food, but I loved it. It was so good. And then we ended up watching the fireworks live that night, which was really fun in person. It's the second time we've watched it in person. And then that night we ate at Be Our Guest, which was our second time doing it, but we did it again because, first of all, we love it, and second of all, we wanted our friends that went with us to experience it as well. And then our 4th day was Hollywood Studios, which was our first time ever going to Hollywood Studios. I had so much fun there. It was so cool. Like, the theming, like I said, I already told you guys, I loved the Star Wars land. I loved the Toy Story land. I did not get to ride Slinky Dog Dash. I was going to get a fast pass for it, but I ended up not getting one. I couldn't get it in time. But this next trip that I go on soon, I will be getting one. And I will let you guys know if I like it or not. I'm sure I will. It's just a straight ride. But we rode the Alien Swirling Saucers, which was really cool. It was fun. I wouldn't say it was worth waiting 30 minutes in line for, but I'm glad I could say I did it. We also rode Toy Story Mania. We saw Beauty and the Beast live on stage, which was so beautiful. Like, my husband's not a big musical fan, like with different musicals and Broadway stuff, but he loved this and I loved this. It was so good. I would definitely be watching that again next time. The Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular was awesome. Oh my gosh. I want to watch that again and again and again. And then the Frozen sing-along special, although it's geared toward kids, they had some like adult jokes, not like bad jokes, but just like jokes that only adults would get. And it was funny. Like, one of them, they were talking about, you know, the trolls in the movie are stones. And he talked about something about rolling stones. I don't know. It was funny, and I would definitely recommend going there even if you're not a child. We ate at 50's Prime Time for lunch this day. Right? Am I right? I'm right. We ate at 50's Prime Time for lunch that day, and we ate at the Yachtsman Steakhouse that night. I didn't like the Yachtsman Steakhouse at all. I don't think my husband liked it either, or our friend group. It was okay. I don't know, the service was great. Like, it wasn't anything about the waitress or the service. It was just the food wasn't what I expected it to be. We got steak, but it wasn't really good, and the sides were very dry, and I don't know. Maybe I just wasn't feeling good that day. But in my opinion, I didn't really like the Yachtsman Steakhouse. And for our 5th day, we went to Animal Kingdom again because I quickly learned that I love this park, and rode Everest like another 2 times. We, what else would we do that day? We rode Kilimanjaro Safari. We ate at Satuli Canteen. The first day at Animal Kingdom, we ate at the Flame Tree Barbecue, which is so good. Oh my goodness. It isn't just like a pulled pork sandwich with like a little bit of barbecue on it. It's like a whole chicken and coleslaw and baked beans, like all the fixings. Like, it's good. You need to go there. If you go to Animal Kingdom next time, I better say that you went to Flame Tree Barbecue. No, but I do love Satuli Canteen, and we did go there our second day because I had to go there at least once. And it was really good. I got the chicken bowl with like the little boba and the coleslaw and the stuff, sweet potato hash. Mix it all together like this garlic butter sauce. Oh, so good. It was so great, and I definitely recommend that. We did get to see the River of Light show this night, and this is my first time ever getting to see that. We fast passed it and got a good seat, and oh my goodness, it was beautiful. Oh my gosh, it was beautiful. It was like they're spraying water up, and the like faces of animals come across the water, and there's boats out on the water with flowers that open up. So cool. The Tree of Life lit up that night as well. I got to see it up close. I loved Animal Kingdom this time around. It was so good, and I'm so glad that I got to go twice this time. That night we chose to eat at the California Grill, and that is our new favorite restaurant. You literally are at the top of the Contemporary Resort, which is on the side of Magic Kingdom, and the whole restaurant is like glass, so you can see straight through it. You're on the 12th floor, the very top floor, and you either get a view of Magic Kingdom or Epcot. It was so awesome. Our first night we got a view of Epcot. I got to see the little fireworks coming off from Epcot Forever. It was beautiful. The service was great. The food was wonderful. We met a couple there who apparently go to Disney World every year. It was their anniversary, and we were celebrating our anniversary. It was our little date night. Our couple that we went with, they went somewhere else that night. I think they went to the Grand Floridian. We went to the Contemporary this night. Just kind of had like our own little separate little date night things. But we love the California Grill. 10 out of 10 recommend. Okay, and then our last day was also Magic Kingdom. This was our very last day. This day was a very cool, calm day. We slept in, I think, till 12. My husband and I did. This is the first day that we rode Space Mountain. We were like kind of hesitant to get on because I had heard like it was really jerky and it's all in the dark and you can't see anything. I love this ride. This has to be my new favorite ride. I love Splash Mountain, don't get me wrong. I love Thunder Mountain, but Space Mountain, oh my goodness. If you are thinking about riding it and you're a little bit hesitant or scared, push yourself to get on it, because it is now like, I wish I would have went on it earlier, like at the Magic Kingdom in the beginning of the week. But I chose not to because I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to like it. What if it's too jerky for me? What if I get a little nervous and, anxious? No, I got on there and it took off and I was just screaming and having fun. And you just didn't know what was going to come next. It was like a surprise. I loved this ride. It was so much fun. This night we also did go back to California Grill again because, why not? As a little tribute to say goodbye. And this is going to be our new tradition that every time we leave the Disney property or we leave Walt Disney World, we're going to eat our last night at the California Grill and watch the fireworks view from the castle. And this night we did get a view of the castle and got to see Elsa light up the castle with her little winter ice thing. It was so beautiful. We just had an amazing time this trip. We went with amazing people. Tyler and Brianna, they're such sweet people. They're such great friends. And I just can't wait for the next time that we go. I'm just so excited. And every time I think about it, it just has like a warm place in my heart. And I just keep making more memories at this wonderful place. And I just think about all my rides. And when I think about the rides and the food and the characters and the people, I just can't contain my happiness. Like, it just gives me joy. So I'm glad that I can share this with you guys and finally tell you what happened on our trip and how much fun we had and our itinerary. And hopefully soon I can give you guys an announcement to our next trip. I'm not saying anything yet, but just stay tuned. Just stay tuned. It's whatever. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, or I don't know what time of day you're watching this, but I do hope you have a wonderful day, whether it's today or tomorrow or yesterday. Don't forget to subscribe. Have a great day. Thanks.